We've arrived to day 6, and you know what that means. If it's your first time here and you're wondering, why are you so excited? It's the first video I'm watching from you and you are acting strange. Well, I am filming a 12 days of Pat McGrath Labs, and we've landed on day 6, which means Mothership 6, which means featuring my beloved Midnight Sun. Again, if you are a first time viewer, hi, this is my favorite Pat McGrath palette. It is, and I've explained this several times, but I'm more than happy to explain it again. This released in 2019, and it was after Bronze Seduction. If you haven't checked out my Bronze Seduction video on day 5, you could watch it here or here. I forget which side the card reveals itself on. This was exciting for me personally because it by far has to be Mother's earthiest palette and an inspiration that I immediately aligned with. I saw the Midnight Sun landscape. I saw the connection to what happens when Midnight Sun occurs, that phenomenon where the moon and the sun are like out at the same time, and there's just this lovely light cast on whatever it's under, and you have these shades here in the palette. Now, people were disappointed because if you saw my swatches from yesterday, VR Fire Opal, Astral Luna Gold, you saw how pizzazzy they are. Now we have these 4 in Midnight Sun, and because Astral Luna Gold and VR Fire Opal were duochromes, these aren't. They aren't duochromes, and people were disappointed. They thought this palette was a dud, and I'm like, how dare you? This is not a dud. It's just a different color story. It's a different vibe, and I don't think duochromes would have fit well in here, in my opinion. It just didn't make sense. Like, I'm happy Pat went a little more subtle with the effects in Midnight Sun. Also, you had 3 different mattes. You had Extreme Dusk, you had Taboo, and you had Vermilion Venom, which were a lovely departure from the usual Extreme Black and the super dark mattes that were in Bronze Seduction, right? Taboo was like your quintessential MAC, if you will, saddle brown shade. It was softer, it wasn't as intense, and it's actually a little bit of like a mustardy saddle brown, which is beautiful. Vermilion Venom, the red matte, okay, that's going to give you more of like a muted burgundy effect on the lids, especially if you wanted to blow it out. But let's go to these shades because, again, these were the ones that people were like, hey, I wish it was more sparkly, I wish it was more duochrome. First, with Blood Moon 005, yes, I agree. This might not have been as smooth as Rose Gold 005. It's flakier, it's chunkier, I get it, I know. We have the intensifiers one, right? We could use that to kind of get the flakies together so they lay flatter on the lid and therefore present more reflectivity. But we got Blitz Violet Orchid, this violet lavender shade that was just so much fun to apply either all over the lid or as an accent moment on the lower lash line. But Astral Solstice is crushed fairy dust, okay? Disco Ball in an eyeshadow is not going to have the same duochrome effect as what's found in VR Fire Opal, but the wet effect, like, excuse me. And my poor Jubilee definitely didn't have the same reflectivity, but it had a beautiful antique look to it, I feel like, in that you can apply this all over the lid, one and done. It's softer, okay? And everyone's favorite, Wicked Envy, which is more of a metallic. And with Midnight Sun, these metallics were a little tighter than the ones found in her first 3 palettes. Those satins were softer. There was a softer powder. Wicked Envy had a lot of body to it texture wise, so you had to make sure you smoothed it out. Actually resembles somewhat what exists in Decadence, the metallic formula. And Bronze Eclipse is lovely because it's a lighter bronze shade and same texture as Wicked Envy, creamier than what's found in the first 3 palettes, but again, beautiful on its own all over the lid. And of course, we have the Skin Show Moon Glow, which is our standard Skin Show shade in the Mothership that we can use lid, inner corner, however you like. I already prepped the face because I have more videos to film. So to get it rolling, I applied my Prada Reveal and the Givenchy together, because Midnight Sun for me is not neutral, not too warm, so I thought that cocktail would match well. Also, the Gucci concealer under the eyes in 38N cleaned up the brows, but now I wanted to show what I decided on for bronzer and blush. I love the caramel tone from VBB's matte bronzer brick in 03. I thought it would match well with that Taboo shade in Midnight Sun, and definitely has an earthier feel overall on me as a bronzer because there's a little more yellow in here. I could argue actually 04 is a nice pairing to Midnight Sun as well, but I thought 03 is perfect. Or even the Fado Homidi bronzer, that could have worked out well also. Now for the cheeks though. I'm thinking... Now the cheeks though are tricky because I could keep it a little more bronzy on the cheeks. You know what? I might have to start the eyes and then get a better feel of what the blush shade should be, as well as the lipstick. How I would like to start the looks today, want to get in with Vermilion Venom. Blown out on the lid, and yes, I remember to apply my primer using the Linda Hellberg Till the End primer. And these mattes, in my opinion, are softer than the ones found in Bronze Seduction. Those mattes are harder pressed and therefore have a higher risk of appearing patchy on the eyes. Because of the softer powder from Midnight Sun, there's just a little more room for error, in my opinion. It's just a little more flexibility there on the blend. So I'm taking Vermilion Venom all over the crease, out from the lid, and just this color is definitely like a muted burgundy. It's just one of my favorites. And carrying that on the lower lash line as well, so we could create that bracket. Now, I wanted to go in with Jubilee all over the lid, but I also am thinking, I'm thinking actually Bronze Eclipse, and I'm using my finger to lay that on the lid first. And I keep forgetting that because the textures in Midnight Sun for the metallics, they got a lot of grip, so don't pick up too much, because then you'll get texture on the lid. I think that's the advantage that the first three palettes have over the ones including Midnight Sun that release Midnight Sun on, is that the satin textures were softer and more forgiving on lid texture. Jubilee on the inner corner, I think that'll be fun. Also, Skin Show Moon Glow could be a moment on the inner corner as well. But even though Jubilee doesn't have the same razzle dazzle as some astral shades, VR shades, triple number shades, and the other palettes, is still shinier than Skin Show. The lower lash line, you know what? Great opportunity now, if you wanted, to go in with Blitz Violet Orchid as our wild card accent color shade on the lower inner part of our lash line. And I want to bring in Extreme Dusk along the lash line here. This is my Refer 23, a tiny pencil brush that is great for precision, but also diffusing the edges of the eyeshadow application at the same time. Because I don't want to go wing, I just want to create a softer line of intensity along the lashes here. And just so you can see what Astral Solstice does, I'm tapping once because that's all you need. And although Astral Solstice is cool tone, it acts as an overlay effect. So even though Bronze Eclipse leans a little warmer, bringing Astral Solstice into the mix is now going to give it a higher shine effect without sacrificing the smooth blend. It's not going to accentuate texture as long as you're not crazy with it, okay? Just tap and just allow it to naturally disperse and have that beautiful scatter effect on the lid. Not too bad. I do want to bring in a little bit of the Blitz shade here, like more along the lower lash line. I think that's good. That's good. For this side, we could start off with Taboo. I know I'm doing transition shade stuff because I love starting out with a neutral color. Not that I feel it's going to help me blend smokier looks better, which yes, it does. But these flakier textures, in my opinion, when you blend the edges with a matte, if you decide to go with the fun shade first and the matte afterwards, you could risk fallout on the face. I don't want the flakes to drop from the eyes. So that's why I'm starting with the matte first. And Taboo is a lovely color. It's softer than Entrapment from Bronze Seduction, and just easier to use in my opinion. And I could go in with Extreme Dusk to smoke it out, but we gotta go with Wicked Envy. And I'm not picking up as much, but you see the texture here on my fingertip. Just have to be careful that you don't pick up a ton so it doesn't end up chunky looking on the lid. And once you get the majority on the lid, you can follow up with a shader brush and tap in and under the crease here just to clean up that application. And you can stop right here. If you feel this is enough, slap on the mascara or put on lashes, however you want to go with it, you're done. I think stamping Blood Moon on the inner arc, not so that it looks super precise, but I think the shine will play a nice role here in that, yes, it's more color heavy than Wicked Envy, but I think a nice serving of sparkle here if you didn't want to apply it on the entire lid. Skin Show Moon Glow, why not, on the inner corner, which pales in comparison compared to Blood Moon, but it's fine. I know I didn't use enough of Blitz Violet Orchid. I'm sorry, forgive me. I could have went with it on the lid, but I haven't used Wicked Envy in so long, so it was a selfish decision. I do want to place some Extreme Dusk here on the outer corner because I would like to complete this eye with a smokier serving of shadow and just gently tapping, because again, I don't want to go windshield wiper where Blood Moon is there and then it'll flake off and end up on my face. So I'm just gently tapping and doing gentle draft strokes here and taking a little bit of Extreme Dusk here on the outer quarter of my lower lash line. Here though, I think, well, I could go in with Blitz Violet Orchid for sure, but I think I'm just going to keep it simple actually and follow up with Wicked Envy on the lower lash line and just keep it at that, because Wicked Envy is smoky in and of itself. Okay, we have the eyes done, we gotta apply these lashes, but I'm thinking about what to apply on the cheeks for blush. You know what, I'm actually going to go back to the VBB bronzing brick and take the warmer side of the brick and use that as blush, because I don't want anything pink tone to kind of interrupt the earthiness that's going on right now. And I think I gotta go in with like a brown lipstick. I'm thinking Magic from Dior. Is that too much? All right, I'll decide and let you know when I get back. Let's apply these lashes and hang tight. All right, lashes are on. I'm thinking Magic from Dior's Rouge Sequin Lip Duo because Midnight Sun's a little grungy, okay? And I feel just embracing grunge on eyes and lips is the way to go. Uh-oh. I ran out of space on my audio card and I don't know at which point it stopped recording my audio, but we're back with the close-ups. I hope you can understand why I hold such a special place in my heart for Midnight Sun, why it's my favorite Mothership. I think it offers something substantially different from what we've seen so far, especially coming from that high that Bronze Seduction gave us. And I would also argue the first three. Midnight Sun is that desaturated neutral palette in the Pat McGrath Mothership portfolio that still gives a little dazzle, just enough, and you can dial it to the intensity you like. The fact that we have 3 different mattes that have various degrees of contouring and shadowing. Vermilion Venom is great, and I know it's red, and I understand that red doesn't work on every skin tone, but it's a great backdrop of color because it's not a bright red like you find in Blitz Flame. It's more muted, and I think wearable because of that. Blitz Violet Orchid, you can apply all over the lid, but because of the silver pearl in there, it can appear icy, and if you wanted to avoid that look, you can apply it on the lower lash line like I did for this eye, or maybe on the entire lash line, or even maybe on the entire inner corner. In the same way I did with Blood Moon, if you wanted to create that inner arc of sparkle, you could go that route. And Blood Moon, in my opinion, reminds me of Bronze 005 from Sublime. How it can be placed on the lid, pressed with the fingertip, and have a beautiful scatter effect that, yes, it's not going to appear as flat and shiny like if you were to apply it on top of Intensifies or some sort of glitter glue primer product. It would appear not as textured, but there's something lovely about that flaky scatter effect on the lid with a powder that it's hard to achieve when it's super wet in the formula. And again, you can control the intensity with a fingertip application. You just can't pick up too much. Yes, and it's nice, of course, if you have the lid space, if you let it rise above your crease, so it kind of has like that constellation look to the eyes. I think it's pretty. As well as, listen, Astral Solstice is incredible. Yes, it's on the icier side, but immediate wet effect look on the lids. Even if you apply it on a shadow that's more warm leaning, if you want more dazzle from Jubilee, right? You can layer a little Astral Solstice there, or even on Blitz Violet, or oh my god, you could do so much with this palette. And I can't tell you how bummed I was when I learned that this was probably the first Mothership that ended up in TJ Maxx. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Again, people weren't excited about it like Bronze Seduction. They just didn't understand the vision, okay? Not everything has to be in your face, dual chrome, high shine, high reflectivity. It's fine to have balanced moments in terms of shadow, in terms of texture. And I think that's what Midnight Sun Mothership 6 represented. I think it was a welcomed contrast from what we saw in Mothership 5 to now have something more subdued and softer and just quieter, because that's the complete nature when I think about Midnight Sun. It's quiet. It's just a beautiful phenomenon that takes place that you just want to take in silence, that you just want to admire in awe. Something so beautiful requires no words. There are no words to describe what you're seeing in front of you. You just take it in. And this is what Midnight Sun is to me. You just can't put into words what this palette possesses. I can't speak for everyone, but I can only speak and explain why this is my favorite Pat McGrath palette and how I was just thrilled and excited to show you day 6 out of our 12. And if you weren't inspired by Midnight 6 and you couldn't see the vision, it just wasn't there for you, well, I hope this video helped. And if it's your favorite, you know what to do. You let me know down below. But make sure that you like this video, and by clicking that thumbs up, it helps me immensely in letting the YouTube algorithm know that Midnight Sun is S tier and will now recommend my video to other Midnight Sun enthusiasts such as yourself. And consider subscribing, because we're not done with the series. We're only halfway there. You'll know when those uploads drop immediately, especially when you click that notification bell. My Midnight Sun enthusiasts who've been watching my tutorials since 2019, I appreciate you for watching this one now. But if it's your first time here, please stay, peruse some more. Maybe I'll see you in this video here. I'll definitely see you down in the comments for this one, and on here again next time.